welcome or welcome back to my little corner of the internet where I like to talk about some witchy shit, some healthy shit, and some politically shit. I hope you guys are doing well. I revamped a little bit because we have upcoming holidays and I figured why not, I just needed something to take my mind off of a lot of stuff that's going on. So I figured why not do that yesterday, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know down in the comments what you think. But apparently the election is still being contested, but the president-elect is still getting congratulated by members of the GOP as well as overseas leaders. My only fear is what happens, well, I have a lot of fears, let's be real here. What happens if he ends up eking out or ends up somehow rigging it, so he's in power again. His followers are going to be so emboldened and embracing and just not having any care in the world about rules of law or any of that stuff. So that's what I'm a little worried about. What I am not worried about is I got my first targeted troll. Before I used to get the sexy ones, and it's just blank spam, to anybody and anyone who has a YouTube channel. I knew this day would come, so I'm going to highlight who said it, what they said, and my response. And it's especially fitting because of what today is. Depending on when you're watching this, it is Veterans Day. I happen to be a disabled veteran. I served for over 12 years on active duty. Excuse me. When I was 16, I had already graduated from high school. At 18, I already had my associate's degree and my EMT cert. But in the area where I was living and grew up, nobody would hire me because I was so young. But I had all the education, but I was so young. So that's one of the reasons why I went into the military. I was living on my own at the time because my mom moved all the way across the country, and I decided that I wanted to finish up my associate's degree, and so that's what I did. Then I joined the military. From boot camp, I flew over from Portsmouth, Virginia to Ireland, and then we sailed the North, the Black, the Mediterranean, the Red, went to North Africa, Caribbean, Haiti, and all around in Europe. It was a pretty awesome experience. I just wish that I didn't have an alcohol disorder, an alcohol use disorder, a drinking problem back then, because I did that as a way of coping because it's a new situation. I had no idea what was going on, and I wish that I didn't, but that's kind of the culture. I can't speak about what it's like, especially right now in the military, but back then that was the military culture. And I was an engineer, well, not drafting or anything like that, but I was basically a mechanic. So yeah, I was surrounded by guys. What do? You go out drinking with them. So that's what I did. After I got transferred from the boat that I was stationed on, the cutter, I went to MKA school. After that, I went to Boston, where I was at the Naval Engineering Support Unit, and I volunteered for 9/11. Not to do it, of course, but to the planes took off, one of them from Boston, and probably flew right over us because at that time I was a smoker, and I'm not talking this kind. But so the next day after 9/11, I was in New York for 3 weeks. Still get a lot of flashbacks and PTSD symptoms from it. Yay! But then after Boston, I tried to go to Alaska, but I had to have back surgery because I had herniated 2 discs. So then after I had surgery, I was able to go the following year, and it was someplace where a lot of people have not experienced and won't anymore because it was torn down. I went to a remote Loran Station isolated duty in 80 miles north of Nome, Alaska. I was there for a year. There were no paved roads except for our runway, and that's how we got all of our supplies in, and our people, and our mail, and stuff like that. So it was an interesting experience, to say the least. I loved, my favorite part was between taking care of the dogs there. There were 2 dogs, Nook and Nomad. And then I was also the head of morale. Yeah. And I know, can you tell? You know. And then I really loved plowing snow. It was almost therapeutic, you know, just plowing and plowing and plowing all by yourself in a truck. You don't really have to worry about hitting anything or anyone up there, so that was also helpful. From Alaska, I went and, excuse me, I was stationed down in the Bay Area for a few years, doing a couple of things like inspecting the large container vessels. Then I did facilities inspections and ended up also doing some like 911 like vessel help. Basically, it's the command center, so you get all of the phone calls. One of the horrible parts of that was we were stationed in the Bay Area, and we would get the calls for when there was a jumper off the Golden Gate Bridge. And if you don't know, Golden Gate Bridge is a very big place for people to commit suicide. So that was a little taxing because I would go home and knowing that somebody had killed themselves. That was fun. And when I was stationed in the Bay Area, I was engaged at the time, and he ended up dying. So that was an experience as well. From there, I went and got stationed up in Newport, Oregon, which, aside from Bay Area, because that's where I'm from, Oregon is my favorite. Newport was so beautiful. I'm a landlocked mermaid right now, but we're going to get back up there. So yeah. So this comment was awesome to receive yesterday. It's like, oh, you look old, and why do you wear teenage clothes? A, I am a little bit old. B, depends on what your definition of old is. C, why do you get to dictate what I wear? D, am I on D? I think. I wear what's comfortable because I have several chronic pain conditions. Yeah, so it takes no more energy to be mean and snarky as it does to be nice and helpful. So with that, I I held in my heart how to deal with trolls. And again, it's very spot on. I release all false projections of myself and embrace my true spirit. So let's get started working on that. This Veterans Day, be kind to each other. You never know what battles the person next to you or across the keyboard from you is battling. They could be a disabled vet. They could be somebody who needs help. They could be just somebody who's having a really piss poor day. If you're having a piss poor day, let me know. We can talk about it. All of my deets are down in the description box, like Instagram and stuff like that. So you can message me saying, I'm having a really bad day, or just put it in the comments if you feel comfortable doing that, and let's chat. Okay? So with that, I bid you adieu. It's a little bit longer video because it's Veterans Day, and I felt it was apropos to share where I've been stationed. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Remember, be nice to each other, wear your mask, because wearing a mask says, I respect you. So...